I'm working in the New Perspectives Microsoft Access 2010 textbook. I'm in Tutorial 3, and I'm going to add some information on sorting in a query that's not in your book. This picks up right after page AC 126. I've created a simple query. It's called Customers by Zip. And what I want to do with this query is I want to sort first by zip, then by customer last name, and then by customer first name. But I don't want to change the order of my fields. So I'm going to run this query. I want it to be company, first name, last name, address, city, state, zip. But I want to sort first by zip, then by last name, and then by first name. Let's give it a try and see how this might work. So I'm going to come into the design grid here, and I'm going to try to sort first on zip, and then on last name, and then on first name. And let's run it. What I've done is I've sorted on first name, and within first name by last name, and within that then by zip. So let's take a look. Here's a couple Johns. So I've sorted by John and then in alphabetical order by last name, and that's not what we wanted to do. We want to sort first by zip, then by last name, and then by first name. And if we understand or remember how Access works, the first sort that it comes to, moving left to right, is the primary sort, and that's first name. The next sort that it comes to is the secondary sort, and then the tertiary sort. But I want to sort first by this one, then by this one, then by this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these sorts off these first two, because I want to sort first by zip, and then by last, and then by first. So what I'm going to do is add last name again and first name again. And I'm going to come over. These are a little hard to see because of the way that my window is sized. I'm going to remove the check mark from the show box, and I'm going to sort ascending, then come over one more time and sort ascending on first name and remove the checkbox. That's the way it's done. Let's give it a try. Let's run that one. Now, again, it's a little hard to see because my window is small here, but it's in zip code order. Within zip code, let's take a look at these three right here, because within zip code, it's by last name and then by first name. Now, it looks like we don't have anyone here that lives in the same zip code with the same last name, and so that's not going to matter. But if we had thousands of records, it might make a difference. So it's first by zip, then by last name, and then by first name. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save this, and I'm going to close the query, and I'm going to open it back up, and we'll look at it in Design View and see if it's changed at all. No. Now let's see if there's another way we could do this. Couldn't we take, and I'm going to take these fields and just get rid of them right now. What if we took zip and moved it into the first position? So I'm going to come home here, and so I'm going to take zip and I'm going to add it here, and it's going to be my first sort, and I'm going to remove the check mark from the show box, and then I want it by last. I'm going to bring last in. I'm going to put it right here, and then I'm going to remove, I'm going to remove the show, and I'm going to sort it, and then I'll sort on first. And let's run it. I get the same results. Okay. Let's go back and look at it again. So now it says zip, last. So my first sort to the left is my zip. And I'm going to go ahead and close this. And I'll reopen it. And let's scroll over. Sort's still working. What happened to my zip field? And my last name? And wasn't there a sort on my first name? Access has moved those fields to the end. It changed it back to the original configuration that we had. And that really is the way that you want to do it. You want your first sort to be within the design grid, and then all the fields that you're hiding to come at the end. They're the last fields in the design grid, just like we saw it here. So when you bring them in, bring in all your fields, and then choose your field that you're going to sort on first. In this case, it's zip. Then you add copies of the fields that you want to have the secondary and the tertiary sort, like last name and first name. At the end of them, add the sorts, and then remove the checkboxes. And that's the way that it's done. Now, once we get into reports, you're going to see that this is much easier to do, but there are going to be some issues, sometimes that you're going to want to override the sorts in a query, and this is the way that you do it.